You got the raise. You finally got it. After months of waiting, working late, taking on extra projects, your boss called you in and said, "We're bumping you up." Maybe it was an extra $500 a month, maybe $1,000, maybe even $2,000. You walked out of that office feeling like you'd finally made it. You texted your partner. You celebrated. You thought, okay, now things are going to change. Now I'm going to start saving. Now I'm finally going to feel financially secure. And then 6 months later, you check your bank account, and it looks exactly the same. Maybe even worse. The credit card balance? Still there. The savings account? Still empty. And somehow, despite making more money than you've ever made in your entire life, you still feel broke. If that hit too close to home, stick with me. My name is Jesse, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who make good money still end up living paycheck to paycheck. If you are someone who keeps getting raises but somehow never feels richer, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. What you are experiencing is a personal failure. It's not a lack of discipline. There's an actual name for what's happening to you, and it's affecting millions of people right now. Look, I want to challenge something today. The idea that if I just made more money, all my problems would be solved. No. That's not how this works, and I'm going to prove it to you with cold, hard math. Let me hit you with something that genuinely shocked me. According to a 2023 PYMNTS report, 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But here's the part that broke my brain. Nearly 1 in 3 households earning over $150,000 a year are also living paycheck to paycheck. People making 6 figures, people who, on paper, should be wealthy, are one missed paycheck away from disaster. And it gets worse. A Lending Club survey found that 36% of people earning over $200,000 a year reported living paycheck to paycheck. $200,000 a year. Broke. Now, you might be thinking, well, they must live in expensive cities. Sure, some do. But that's not the full story. Here's what most people don't realize. The problem isn't your income. It's something economists have studied for decades. It's called lifestyle creep, and it's quietly destroying your financial future. Lifestyle creep is what happens when your spending rises right alongside your income. You make more, you spend more. Your needs mysteriously expand to match. Let me show you with real numbers. You making $50,000 a year. After taxes, you bring home about $3,300 a month. Rent is $1,200. Car payment $300. Groceries, utilities, subscriptions, another $1,200. That leaves $600 for everything else. It's tight, but you make it work. Now you get promoted to $80,000. After taxes, you bringing home about $5,000 a month. That's an extra $1,700 every single month. Logically, you should save most of that, right? You were surviving on $3,300 before. But here's what actually happens. You move into a nicer apartment. Rent jumps from $1,200 to $1,900. You deserve it, right? You trade in the car. Payment goes from $300 to $550. You eat out more. Food jumps from $400 to $700. New subscriptions, upgraded phone plan, that vacation you'd been putting off. And just like that, that extra $1,700 is gone. You right back where you started, except now you trapped in a more expensive lifestyle you can't easily downgrade from. This is the trap. Almost everyone falls into it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Why does this happen? There is a powerful psychological force at work called the hedonic treadmill. Psychologists Brickman and Campbell coined this term in 1971. The idea. Humans have a baseline level of happiness we always return to. You get a raise, you re-thrilled for about 3 months. Then, your brain adjusts. That new income becomes your new normal. The thrill fades. You need more to feel that same boost again. It's like a drug tolerance, but for money. A famous Princeton study on lottery winners found that within a year or two, most reported being no happier than before they won. Why? Their lifestyle inflated to match the windfall. Here's the analogy I love. Imagine walking on a treadmill. You jog faster. For a moment, you feel like you re-moving. But the treadmill speeds up to match you. You working harder, going absolutely nowhere. That's lifestyle creep. Look, let me show you the real cost. Because people don't understand how devastating this is. Back to our example. That extra $1,700 a month, instead of spending, you invested in a low-cost index fund earning 8% per year. After 10 years, roughly $310,000. After 20 years, about $1 million. None of which made you significantly happier. Here's what most people don't realize. Every dollar you spend isn't just that dollar. It's that dollar plus everything it could have become. Now, you might be thinking, Jesse, I don't want to live on rice and beans for 30 years. I hear you. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to be intentional. There's a massive difference between mindful enjoyment and mindless inflation. Here's another thing nobody talks about. A huge driver of lifestyle creep isn't even about you. It's about everyone around you. A 2022 Empower study found that 36% of millennials and 33% of Gen Z said they spend money to keep up with friends, lifestyles, even when it's not in their budget. Social media has made this exponentially worse. Your coworker bought a Tesla. Your college friend posted from Bali. Your cousin renovated their kitchen. Suddenly, your perfectly fine car, your normal apartment, your basic kitchen, they all feel inadequate. Nothing about them changed. Only your perception did. This is the comparison trap. Every Instagram post, every targeted ad is engineered to make you feel like you're falling behind. The only solution they offer? Spend more. Here's the thing. Most of those people you're comparing yourself to, they're broke. That Tesla is leased. That Bali trip went on a credit card. That renovation came from a HELOC they can barely afford. You were trying to keep up with people who are drowning. There's another principle here called Parkinson's law. The original says, work expands to fill the time available. Give yourself a week, it takes a week. Give yourself a day, it takes a day. Money works the same way. Expenses expand to fill the income available. This is why people making $40,000 and people making $400,000 often have the same amount in savings at month end. Nothing. The money disappears not because it's needed, but because it's there. The only way to break this cycle, artificially constrain your expenses. Pretend you make less than you do. Pay yourself first, before lifestyle has a chance to creep in. Okay, so what do you do about this? Let me give you a framework I call the 50% raise rule. Every time you get a raise, bonus, or income increase, immediately split it in half. 50% goes to wealth building, investments, debt payoff, savings. 50% you use to upgrade your lifestyle, guilt-free. This is huge for 2 reasons. 1, it prevents 100% of your raise from being absorbed by lifestyle creep. 2, it doesn't require you to be a monk. Back to our example. That $1,700 monthly raise. Under the 50% rule, $850 goes straight into investments. The other $850 you use however you want. Over 30 years, just that $850 a month at 8% becomes about $1.27 million from one raise that you barely felt. Second principle, automate before you motivate. Dawn, trust yourself to make the right decision every month. You won. Willpower is finite, and the financial industry has spent billions figuring out how to drain it. Set up automatic transfers the same day your paycheck arrives. Treat saving like rent. The money has to leave before your brain finds a way to spend it. Third principle, define your enough. This is the deepest one. Most people never define what financially enough actually looks like, so they keep chasing more forever. Take an afternoon, write it down. What does your ideal life actually look like? What income would fund it? When people do this exercise, they re-shocked. The number is usually way lower than they thought. Often, they already making it. They just spending it on things that don't actually make them happy. Let me tell you about Marcus. Real person, changed name. Marcus started at $45,000 as a junior accountant. 10 years later, he was making $185,000 as a senior manager. He came to me drowning, $60,000 in credit card debt. No retirement savings, a mortgage he could barely afford, 2 leased luxury cars, kids in private school. He told me, with a straight face, that he didn't make enough money. $185,000, not enough. What we found, dollar for dollar, he was saving less at $185K than he had at $45K. Back then, he had no choice. Now, every increase had been instantly absorbed. So we did something radical. We froze his lifestyle. Whatever he was spending today, that was the ceiling. Forever, every future raise, 70% to debt and investments, 30% to lifestyle. 3 years later, he's debt-free. 6 figures in investments. And here's the wild part. He's happier because the constant low-grade financial anxiety is finally gone. What's possible when you stop running on the treadmill? Here's what I want to leave you with. The wealthiest people I've ever met aren't the highest earners. They're the people with the biggest gap between what they earn and what they spend. That gap is your freedom. That gap is your future. You can earn $1 million a year with a zero gap and be broke for life. You can earn $60,000 with a $20,000 gap and build real wealth. Slowly, boringly, inevitably. The income side gets all the attention. Side hustles make 6 figures fast. But the spending side is where the real game is played. You don't have an income problem. You have a gap problem. So here's what I want you to do this week. 3 things. First, calculate your gap. Take your monthly take-home pay. Subtract every dollar going out. What's left? That's your real wealth building rate. Be honest. The number might be uncomfortable. Second, set up one automatic transfer. Just one, even $50 a month, into a low-cost index fund. The amount matters less than the habit. Third, the next time you get any income increase, automate 50% into investments before lifestyle absorbs it. That's it. 3 steps. They'll change your financial life more than any investing secret ever will. The system is designed for you to fail at this. Every advertiser is working overtime to convince you that more income equals more spending. They're wrong. And now, you know they're wrong. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe because I post videos like this every week, and drop a comment telling me your biggest lifestyle creep moment. You're not broke because you don't make enough. You're broke because the gap is too small. Fix the gap. Change your life. I'll see you in the next one.